Hello, how are you doing? Welcome to Conexão Britânica, the biggest British English YouTube channel in Brazil. In this video, we'll be starting a new series here on the channel. I ask you in the community tab on YouTube if you wanted some videos 100% in English, and 90% of you have answered me yes. So here we go. We're going to start a new series with videos 100% in English. Of course, for basic, intermediate, advanced students, for fluent people, it's for everybody. So for this first video, we're going to start speaking of the simple present, which is kind of simple, I know, but with a different emphasis. I'm looking for simple present for intermediate and advanced students. So if you're a basic student yet, you'll be very happy to know that simple present can be more intermediate and more advanced if you level up, okay? So, as we do here on the channel, sit down comfortably, grab your pencil, your eraser, and a sheet of paper to take note of everything I'm gonna say, and let's go for the video. Before we start the content properly, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet. And I divided this subject in some parts, alright? Although simple present looks very easy, because it's obviously one of the first verb tenses we learn in English. It's very useful and very flexible in terms of context, alright? So, the first thing I'd like to say is, one of the contexts we use the simple present is obviously it's something that happens now in the present. I normally mention a term of isolated moment in some part of the time. So if it's the present, it's an isolated moment in the present. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about things in general, but all the things happens now in the present. Not before, not after, just now. But we are not thinking only about now. We can think about things, facts that happened repeatedly. I mean, that's something that is inside of our routine, for example. Or also things that are true in general. Things that, let's say, most of the people believe that are true. And for those things, it's not important to know if the fact is happening now, if it happens now. So it's a fact. I mean, it's the truth. We accept that. Let's move on to the examples and I can be clearer about that, all right? So the first one I got you, nurses look after patients. So yeah, it's a fact that nurses, the job of the nurses are to look after the patients. So this is a good example for that. The structure is a simple present and it's a fact. We all agree with that, yeah? And nurses that, for example, don't look after patients, they are not good nurses. They are not to be considered nurses, right? So, in general, nurses look after patients. Another one I brought you is, I usually go away at weekends. So let's imagine that I have another house by the beach, for example, and every weekend I go there to relax, to have a good time, and then I come back to my city, to my other house for the week. So it's something that happens repeatedly. On the weekends, I go to my other house, and that's it. And I use simple present for that. And the last one, the earth goes round the sun. The last one is, the earth goes round the sun. So, yeah, we're not out there to see this happening, are we? But we know for a fact that Earth goes round the sun. And we accept that as true, and this is something that happens repeatedly as well. So for all of those three examples, we use simple present. Quite easy, isn't it? But pay attention to something. And stop everything you're doing now and pay attention to this. We are talking simple present, right? So don't forget, never forget. In the simple present, when we speak he, she, or it, we have to change the verb and put the letter S or ES or IES after the verb. So remember that always. You have to do that in order to be grammatically correct. Okay? So for the second part, the second thing I brought for you in this video is we use do or does to make negative or interrogative sentences. Remember, I just told you about the letter S in the end of the verb. So yeah, it changes when we go to the negative or the interrogative form. Let me give you an example. Take a look at that. What do you do? I'm a teacher, but I only teach kids, so I don't teach adults. And what does your brother do? He is a lawyer. He works as a public defender, so he doesn't take any private jobs. As you could see, I used just the subjects I and he for my brother. And also I agreed the use of do or does according to those subjects. Right, of course, we know that for a fact that we use do and does as an auxiliary verb. For I, you, we, and they, we use do. And obviously he, she, and it, we use does. And that's what I did with this text, with this dialogue. For I, when I was talking about me, said I don't teach adults, which is not true. It's just for fiction, all right? But as I was talking about my brother, I said he doesn't take, right? The does the job of substituting the s or the es or ies of the verb if necessary. Also, it works in the question when I said, what does your brother do? Or what do you do? Yeah, it has to go before the subject. Another context we use the simple present, this is the part number 3, is when we say how often we do things. If we talk about frequency, yeah, the number of times we repeat some things, we'll not say that we do that in the future or in the past, yeah? We just say now. How often do you do this now? Oh, I do this 3 times a week, yeah? For example, here in Conexão Britânica, how often do we have videos? Oh, we have videos 3 times a week, on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, and on Saturdays. So that's how it happens. For example, how often do you drink milk in your week? How often do you eat vegetables? This is just questions with how often, but my answers for that can also have the simple present. Not only can, but they will. For example, I get up at 7 o'clock every morning. So I'm saying that for my whole week, I get up at 7 in the morning. It's repetition. Again, what I said about things, doing things repeatedly, right? So, of course, I have to do this with how often as well. And another example is, she doesn't make cakes very often, which means she makes them, but not very often, not with a high frequency. Maybe the person who is saying that wants to eat cake more and wants that person, that girl, to make more cakes. Who knows? And for the fourth part is basically the use of 2 structures, specifically when we use the expressions I apologize or I suggest. So everything that comes after that comes with the simple present. Yeah, if you use apologize and suggest in the present, everything will go together. For example, I suggest you to take the bus. So I'm giving you a suggestion to take the bus. If you change that to the past or to the future, everything will go together. So using this in the present, the rest will be in the present as well. And when I say I apologize, literally we're saying I'm sorry. You can say, I apologize for the amount of litter. So the place is very dirty. So, and you apologizing for that, right? So this is the first video of this series of speaking 100% in English, or as we say here, it's an English class in English. I would like to know, what did you think about the video? If you like it, please click on the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, just share it with your friends, just bring your friends here to see what we're talking about. If you want to practice more English, let me know in the comments what kind of subject should I bring this to this series, and of course I will happily bring it to you. Alright, so thank you for the view, thank you for the company, for the likes, for the comments, for everything, and I see you in the next video. Okay, bye bye.